Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm excited to share how I made New Year's Eve photo props. These would be fun to use to take pictures with a backdrop at a New Year's Eve party. I used chipboard and adhesive vinyl. You can use thick cardstock if you want as well, but I figured the chipboard would be more sturdy. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to my channel. To upload my images, so I'll click on upload. These first two are hand-drawn images for patrons. I have a Patreon account where you can have access to hand-drawn SVGs, and you can use these for commercial and personal use. So if you are selling things, you can use these. I have, I believe, 47 SVGs right now, and each month I put more SVGs into the Google Drive. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the link below this video. I'm also going to grab two images from Cricut Access or Cricut Design Space. I'm going to do a mask and a mustache. Okay, here is all of my images. For Cheers to the New Year, I just want the champagne glass. So what I'm going to do is, this is all grouped together. You can see all the different layers. I'll click on ungroup to separate all of those. And I just want the glass with the bubbles. So I'm going to select, I'm actually going to highlight over these. And I need to get all of those little dots for the bubbles are all separate layers. So I need to highlight those. So you can see in my layers panel, I have the 4 dots selected. And I also should have this champagne glass selected right here. So I can slide this over. I'm just going to group these together so it makes it where it all stays together. Then I'll just delete all of this. Now I'm going to go to Hello 2020. I just want the 2020, so I'm going to ungroup this. I'll highlight over all of these. You can see it's a whole bunch of different layers in the layers panel, but I like to just drag over what I want to delete. Then I'll just click delete on my keyboard. This dot is separate from the 2020, so I'm just going to highlight over this and group it together as well. Then you can just easily move it around in Cricut Design Space. I don't want to weld or attach it because I'm going to be contouring it, and I'll show you how I do that in a minute here. We don't really need to do anything with these yet. What I'm going to be doing is cutting these out on chipboard. Then I'm going to add adhesive vinyl on top of the chipboard. So I want just a plain background that will be the chipboard. Then I will add vinyl to that. So I'll show you what I mean here. So I'm going to grab my champagne glass and I want to duplicate it. Then I'm going to ungroup this first one. And I'm going to select just the champagne glass. You can see this is just one layer, but you can still go in and click contour, and this will make it where you can change part of the image. So I really love the contour button. I use this, at first I didn't use it at all when I started with my Cricut, but now I use it all the time because you can change the image so much. So I'm going to click on contour and I want to hide all of these pieces. Then I'll just have the shadow background of the glass. So I'll click out of here and you can see I have just this piece. I want to delete these bubbles. Then this will be the chipboard. After I cut out the chipboard, I will cut out black vinyl to put directly on top of that. Then for this piece, I want it to be gold vinyl, and I will layer the gold vinyl on top. So I'm going to highlight over this, and I'm going to switch it to, I'm just going to do orange, but it will be a more gold color. And this will go directly on top of here, so it'll kind of look like this. Now I'm just going to do the same thing for 2020. I'm going to highlight over this, then I will duplicate it. These are still grouped together, so I'm going to ungroup it. I'll select on the 2020 part, I'll go down to contour, and I'll do the exact same thing. You can also just select hide all contours instead of clicking on each one individually, and it'll automatically deselect one. So I have that. Now we have our shadow layer. but this dot to the eye, since it's on its own, it needs to be connected. So I'm going to make it bigger and I am going to connect it to here. Then I'm going to take this one, I'm going to ungroup it, I'll delete this, and I am going to duplicate this and try to match it up as best as I can. Now I'm just going to weld these together. So for this one, I'll have the background be the chipboard, then I'll cut out black vinyl, then I'm gonna make this silver vinyl and it will go right on top. So I'm just gonna go up to my colors and change it to gray. And you can see it'll look kind of like this. For these, I don't need to do anything with these. I will end up having to duplicate it because one will be chipboard and the other will be a different type of vinyl. Now I'm just going to size these, which I should have done before I duplicated them, but I'll just make them the same size. For the 2020, I'm going to make it 8 inches wide. So I'll make this one 8 inches wide as well. Then I will make these maybe 7 inches wide. I'll make the mask 8 inches wide as well. And the mustache, I think I'll do about 6 inches wide. These pieces are going to be vinyl, so I am going to go to my eye and hide them so they won't show up when I cut these. And this one, I think I'll just weld that all together. It makes it easier to look at all of my pieces. So I'm going to hide those. First, I'm going to cut out all of these on chipboard. So I'll click on Make It. Unfortunately, it brings it to 2 mats, but it can only be 11 by 11, I believe. So I'm not sure if this will fit on the first mat. If you click on this and choose the 3 dots and move to the first mat, I'm going to try it. I might get this to work, we'll see. Okay, I'm going to try that, then click continue. Now I'm going to go to browse all materials and search for chipboard. I'm going to select the 2.0 millimeters, but I'm actually using a 1.5 millimeter, so I will just have to stop it before it goes through all of the passes. So I'm going to select that, and I'll show you how I do this on my Cricut Maker. I placed my chipboard on my purple strong grip mat. If you have the brayer tool, I recommend using it to press the chipboard into the mat to prevent it from moving. I also always use painter's tape on each side of the mat to keep it in place. I switch out my fine point blade with my knife blade. The knife blade is only compatible with the Cricut Maker, but you might be able to cut chipboard with the Cricut Explorer Air. I might give that a try and let you know how that goes. I would recommend a thin chipboard and the deep cut blade. If you've ever used your Explorer to cut chipboard, let me know in the comments below. Make sure the white star wheels are moved all the way to the end. And also the Cricut will only cut 11 by 11 for wood because of those star wheels. I load my mat into the machine and the Cricut will cut out the chipboard. I stopped the Cricut at 21 of 24 passes. I didn't time how long it took, but I think it was around 30 minutes. Chipboard is a lot faster than cutting basswood, but it still takes up some time. To remove the chipboard, I like to bend my mat backwards to easily get it off the mat. Now I'm going to go back and unhide these. I'm going to make my mask gold, so I'm just going to change it to the same color as this. So all of these are going to be adhesive vinyl that I'm going to be cutting out and adding to my chipboard. Now I'm going to click on Make It. It'll separate these onto different mats. I'm going to move this up just a little bit to hopefully save some vinyl down here. In my gold, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll click continue. I'm going to select vinyl. I'm also going to go here where it says pressure and click on more. For some reason my Cricut, I don't know if my blade's getting dull, but it's not cutting as well, so I'm just going to select more. Then I'll show you how I do this on my machine. I placed the silver adhesive vinyl on the mat first. This is removable vinyl from Cricut. It is 3D textured and it looks even prettier in person. It came with black, silver, and gold colors, which I felt like was perfect for a New Year's craft. I cut out the next two colors. After I finished with this project, if I tried to pick at the vinyl, it would pick up from the chipboard. So I would say removable vinyl would be fine to use if you're just using these photo props this year. But if you want to keep some of them, I would either use iron-on vinyl or permanent vinyl. Once all the vinyl is cut, I weed out the designs. I place my transfer paper over my vinyl to add it to the chipboard. I'm using the clear Duck brand contact paper, which works really well, and I reuse it for all of the other decals. This part is the trickiest, trying to line up the vinyl on the chipboard. The nice thing about this vinyl being removable is that I can easily move it around until I have it lined up well. I do this for the rest of the photo props. Look how cute and festive these look. Next, I take these wooden dowels and paint them black. I bought a 10-piece for $1.60 off Amazon, so I'll link these down below, but you can also find these at the Dollar Tree. I use my hot glue gun to secure these to each prop. Here's how they turned out. These would be so fun to take photos with on New Year's Eve. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. Hit the bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos. And check out my Patreon account in the description box below if you would like to support my channel even further. And there are some perks as well when you join. And have a great day.